Page 155. Ah, the library. I never did know of another place that was as peaceful to do my studying in other than here. Being from a smaller community, it was never an overly busy place, mostly a few older folks, some kids from the high school, and a little group of younger children that would gather here every Friday evening for a book session in which the librarian would read them a few short stories. I figured Saturday morning would be my best time to go. There shouldn't be anyone in here to disrupt my studying whatsoever. However, as I sat down and opened my books, something did disrupt me. It was a book on the top shelf. I don't know what it was about. Something just told me to look. As I got up and strolled over, I noticed the title. On the black-colored spine, written in red, "Tales from the Other Side." I grabbed the book and cracked it open. I immediately shut it after feeling a tingling sensation run from my fingertips up both arms. Not so much a painful feeling, but still surprising nonetheless. Something was intriguing about this book, so I took it back to my table and set it down, opening it fast and pulling my hands away. Nothing. Here's a quick summary of the book for all of you. Each chapter describes a different story from someone who has experienced the paranormal. Some of them mild cases, but some of them also more extreme. Stories that sent the hairs on the back of my neck standing straight up. As I browsed through the chapters, something wasn't right. I started getting this feeling come over me. You know that one, where someone is watching you, but you can't see from where? Yeah, that one. Finally, after looking at the book, something jumped out at me. The last page, page 155, it was the very last page in the book. Not the author's note or summary, just a blank page with the number 155 in the corner. It was unusual, but I didn't pay too much attention to it. Maybe it was just the publisher's mistake. Maybe the kids ripped out the last few pages. Oh well, I thought to myself. I set the book back on the shelf and went back to studying. A few hours of hard studying passed, and I decided I would be ready for my final exams, so I decided to pack it in and head home. On my drive home, I still had that feeling there was someone watching me, but I couldn't tell from where. I'm pretty sure I could have pulled a neck muscle from looking around so much. I never did see anything. As I got home, the feeling got stronger. I just needed to get inside, so I did a slight jog to the door, fumbling with my keys until I got to the door. Unlocked. Well, that's strange. I know it's a small town, but I still lock my doors when I leave. Can never be too cautious. I opened the door and carefully looked around. Has someone been in here? I thought to myself. As I strolled around my home, nothing seemed out of the ordinary, except that my fireplace was lit. Now, that's something I know I wouldn't have left going, for obvious safety reasons. All right, something is up, but nothing else was really touched around the house. Maybe I did leave it burning, but there's no way. I couldn't have. I've never done anything like that before. It's burning now. I might as well watch it and curl up and watch some television. I'll be keeping my eye on it. As the day passed by with no new strange things happening, evening was approaching. The fire was still burning. I figured it was going to be a me kind of night. I'd lay out on the couch, maybe watch a movie, maybe play some games. A movie, I finally decided. A comedy. Maybe after watching it, I would forget about any of the things that happened. After dozing off, on and off, I awoke with blurry vision. I could still hear the crackling of the fire, but the flames were smaller now. I figured the vision issue was from sleeping with contacts. But this was different. Something was right in front of me. It was distorted, but the physical shape of a woman was right there in front of me. I knew something wasn't right at this point. I jumped up and it was gone. My mind has to be playing tricks on me. I don't know what else it could be. I stayed awake, not doing a thing but staring at the fire, trying to figure out what was going on. Maybe some sleep would help. I waited out the fire before going to bed. I woke up around 3:30 a.m., drenched in sweat, cold as could be. There was no light from the moon or the stars, something that almost always happens. I rolled over, hitting what felt like the closet door. How did I end up inside? I burst through the doors in a panic. Carefully walking to the bathroom, I finally got to it after what felt like forever. There, in the mirror, I noticed cat scratches on my chest. They didn't hurt, but there were plenty of them. Where did these come from? I don't own a cat. A wild animal maybe got in? Unlikely. Plus, that doesn't explain how I ended up in the closet. I went downstairs, still in a daze of what's going on. I went into the living room, and there in the moonlight on my coffee table, a book. Tales from the Other Side. I immediately went pale as all hell. Shaking violently, I grabbed the book and opened it swiftly, as I knew what was going to happen. I quickly flipped the pages to the end, page 155. Only this time, it wasn't blank. It was the description of what I had just gone through, up to the page 168, which was now at the end, and blank. None of this can be true. My immediate idea was to take the book to the trash can out back. But what good is that going to do? It could be found again by someone, and I don't want this to happen to someone else. I glanced over at the fireplace. I can get rid of it forever. I sparked up the fireplace again and used the book as kindling. I sat back on my chair and watched it go up in flames, eventually turning into a smolder. Finally, I can rest easy and get back to studying tomorrow. I went back upstairs to bed and had a solid sleep with no interruptions. I awoke as the sun came through my window at about 8:30. Going downstairs, I made myself some coffee and went to the car. Might as well get more studying in. I arrived at the library around 9:45 and went to my usual table. After opening my books, I glanced around, and there, on the top shelf, a book with a black spine and red lettering. Tales from the Other Side.